setup. Hello, everybody, and welcome to some Raptors talk, mid-season edition, and we're just about at that halfway point. I can't wait. It's been so much fun watching the Raptors this year, through the ups, through the downs, and yes, there have been downs. Let's not kid ourselves here, Raptor fans. There's been some tough times, but it really feels like, we might be going the direction that we were meant to all along. So make sure you stick around for the stream here on the Calling Stode Network. If you are new here, please subscribe. Hit that bell icon down below. Make sure it's turned on so you never miss an upload, never miss a live stream, as we're going to be doing lots of uploads, lots of live streams. And by we, I mean me. And maybe over the summer, I'm going to force Nolan to do some work. But there's no promises there, but there are promises that today we're going to get into it and talk about the season, as yes, we are nearing that halfway point. We are at 37 games played right now, so just about 5 away, and I'm real happy. I'll get into the expectation levels in a bit, but we'll just talk about the league at large right now. And of all things that I didn't pull up, the NBA standings. So incredibly, and many people laughed. My Raptor fans didn't laugh so much, but many people did laugh when I said that the Raptors could be a top 6, maybe top 3 seed in the East this year. I had a lot of people doubting me. Anyone I knew who wasn't a Raptors fan was like, no way. But I knew my guys, I knew Nolan especially, was huge on the Raptors this year. We had high expectations. We believed in Brandon Ingram. We knew what he could bring to the table. We believed in Scotty Barnes. And hey, 4 seed right now, and we've been flirting with that 2 seed. The Pistons, though, are so good. The Pistons are 27-9, the best team in the Eastern Conference, and right now, 3 wins away from the Oklahoma City Thunder, who are 30-7 in the West. So, shout out to the Pistons. Better than anyone expected. Way better than I expected. It was wide open in my eyes, and they are running away with it. And we're 5.5 games back, just behind the Knicks, who are 4 games back, and then the Celtics, who are 3.5. So 22-15 is where the Raptors sit. Knicks at 23-13, and the Celtics at 23-12. We're looking good because right behind us is the 76ers, and the 76ers are at 19-15. Behind them are the Magic, who we beat, and behind them the Heat and Cavs. And the Cavs, the 8th seed, are 20-17. That is how tight the East is right now. 2 wins separate us from them. So we got to make sure we stay hot, and we got to make sure that we keep on playing good. And I guess that's where we'll jump right into the expectations. As have expectations been met is the question that I have for most Raptors fans and for myself. And sorry, I had to look up for a minute. And for myself, the answer is a resounding yes. This is what I was expecting. This is what I wanted from this team. And maybe it's been better than I expected. Just a bit. When it was bad, woo, was it bad? And hey, we got a game. Next game that we have to play is against the Hornets. And that's legitimately going to be our biggest test, as the Hornets beat the Thunder already once this season, and once this season they beat the Thunder last night, and when I'm recording this on the 6th, and they beat us twice, and they beat us bad twice. So it's going to have to be a really big game here. We need this win back so bad off of what's been happening lately, but more specifically what's been happening lately is a little win not streak. We're 4-1 in the last 5 with two games in a row against the Hawks that went our way. Most recently 118-100, and then the game before that 134-117. Really impressive stuff from the Raptors. There's not many holes in their game right now, especially with RJ Barrett coming back. The scoring seems to be a lot easier. The guys seem less tired. There's less forcing, and when you watch both condensed highlights and full game broadcast back, anything that was on TSN for Canadian watchers, you could go online and watch those games back. It is so much cleaner basketball. Guys look so much better out there, even without Jakob Poeltl. And that's, I guess, going to be the next talking point is Jakob Poeltl. But first, we'll just keep talking about expectations, because because I want to focus in on Scotty Barnes. No Jakob Pertl means that we have a huge hole inside with size, and that is what Scotty Barnes has been doing so effectively. With Mamu as our starting big, most of the time he's like 6'10", and he's not the most athletic in the world. He's a shooter. We all know this. It leads to some defensive mismatches, but Scotty Barnes, again, we'll talk about more later. Desers, the D-boy. I'll get into his last 5-game stretch here because it's been incredible. For some reason, he's just turned into baby Jokic as he's been putting up triple doubles galore. His most recent game, 18, 10, and 8. The game before that, 27 and 4, and then this is where the fun was, 20, 14 and 10, a 23, 25 and 10. Not back-to-back, but in between those was a 13, 11, and 9 game. So he is literally doing everything right now for this team. So much fun. So Scotty Barnes has been soaring past the expectations I had for him. And then Brandon Ingram as well. Brandon Ingram has been just as good as I was hoping he would be. And he might just have the most pretty turnaround jumper in all of basketball. I mean, there isn't many players that are more satisfying to watch than a guy like Brandon Ingram when he plays basketball. In the half court especially is where he just changes the Raptors. I mean, anyone who watched this team last year knows the half court was the bane of our existence. We were relying on guys like Grady Dick, and he was great. He was putting up 14 points per game or 12. Let's actually get the exact number. He was putting up 14.4 points per game for us last year. And I love me some Grady Dick, but having to rely on guys like that in the half-court offense when the game slows down, it hurts you. Same with guys like Jacoby Walter, who I like, but we're seeing take step backs this year because there are year 2, year 3 players. I think both are year 3 now, but either way, they're young players, and they're able to take the step back because we now have a guy like Brandon Ingram who just dominates the ball when we're in the half-court, and a lot of the times I prefer it that way. There have been a few games now where the Raptors have gotten away from that Brandon Ingram domination ball. His usage percentage especially, I mean, in games we win isn't the highest, but it's not, the highest it ever has been. Going into his advanced stats here, trying to find his usage percentage if I know how to read stats. I don't know how to read stats apparently. Either way, why can I not? Oh, there it is. So his usage percentage is actually down from last season. It was 30.2 in the 18 games he played, so not very many. But it is actually very comparable to some of his more recent seasons where he doesn't play any games. It is astonishing he hasn't missed any time yet. But he is one of those guys that it was 28, 29, 30, 27, 30, and then this year's 27. It's no different, but it's one of those things where it's like we have a guy now. We have the guy. And again, another one of those players that people were disrespecting, I felt like, coming into the Raptors, not thinking he could be number one. And to be fair, the health, huge concern, but so far so good. We'll keep our fingers crossed that stays that way. And then we'll also keep our fingers crossed that Darko can, keep doing what he's doing. I hear so many conflicting things about whether he's a good coach, he's a bad coach, he has bad rotations, he's keeping players fresh, he's not keeping players fresh. RJ's back now, so who knows what the message around Darko is going to be. We'll wait and see. I want to at least, my stance now, because I've been so back and forth as well. When the team was bad, I was calling him a bad coach, and I know I was. And when the team is good, I call him the best coach in the league. I'm very bad for being reactionary. So I'm going to lay the groundwork here, talking about expectations, and we'll leave it at this. Darko, expectations. He's going to ride. We're going to ride with him. He's going to at least coach 5 seasons for the Raptors, and that's the expectations. We're just going to leave it at that. That's about all I really have to say about Darko right now. So good times are being had. 4-1. It's been a great stretch of basketball. We're getting back into that, winning play. I do hope, though, we get our starting center back. So what is the deal with Jakob Pertl? I have no idea. Absolutely no idea. It's not a structural injury. It's not a thing that can be like surgically repaired. All I've heard from reports, from everyone, from journalists to medical people, is that it is just a thing he has to work through. A back injury, which of course, horrible. Someone, the minorest of minor basketball injuries is wild. Also, in the comments there, we see both Racking What's Up and Nolan Thode saying, not basketball related, but the Ravens have officially fired Harbaugh. That is huge news. The Ravens finally doing what the Cincinnati Bengals won't, which is fire their head coach. We all know that Lamar Jackson was very unhappy with him by the end of the season, whether or not you believe the leaks that went on Reddit of one of the girlfriends or ex-girlfriends of the players that overheard all their conversations and said that Lamar Jackson and other players were vocal about their disdain for Harbaugh. Who knows if that's true? Either way, he's gone. The odds Lamar Jackson stays skyrocket now. I really think he's going to stay a Raven. That's all I'll say about that for now. Tomorrow, we will go in depth on the coaching carousel that has been ongoing. Mostly, we'll just talk about the firings and we'll do some potential landing spots, but then we will save that for our Wednesday night stream. So, back to the basketball discussion at hand. Jakob Poeltl, what is going on? And when will he be back? Legitimately, I don't know. I still think we should trade for a big man. Everything is pointing that he's going to be back soon and playing basketball. But I don't know. And I also now don't know if we're going to label him as healthy, but sit him out if he is going to be part of trades, as of course Trae Young is in trade talks and is going to be on the move soon too. We are in a huge period for sports news, which is incredible because it's the middle of January. The beginning of January. So either way, the most recent reports is that Jakob Poeltl is going to be out for tomorrow's game. And that's going to be against Charlotte. And their bigs are, of course, Kalkbrenner and... I'm trying to think of their starting... I think Kalkbrenner's just been the starting center. So I'm not too worried, but he's cleared for contact. Conditioning for return to play is what Sportsnet is reporting on Jakob Poeltl. That could literally mean anything. So, who knows? At least he's feeling good enough for contact. Is he practicing bumping around in the paint again? Who knows? All we do know is that he is cleared. So, that's the latest on Jakob Poeltl. Will he be back this month? I don't know. Legitimately do not know. I do know that a lot of important contracts and stipulations expire coming up soon, or maybe in early February, just before the trade deadline for some guys. I can't remember exactly who, but again, when that trade deadline season comes around, we will be doing another special stream for that. I can't believe that Harbaugh has been fired. That is some insane news to go out while we are live. Ravens, wow, they're going to need to make some huge changes there, so I'm now thinking about that. To finish out, talking about the Raptors here, will be a little Scotty Barnes discussion. Sorry, microphone, I just hit it. Will be a little bit of Scotty Barnes discussion as he's been incredible. With Victor Wembanyama missing time, even if Victor Wembanyama plays the rest of this year, I think Scotty Barnes should be the defensive player of the year. That's how impressive I think this season's been for him. It has been exactly what I thought. This is, again, expectations being met. This is it. He's a guy that I thought, could defend literally anyone on the court, and he does. He's defending big men, and his influence, I feel like, is starting to rub off on our teammates. As if you did not watch the Raptors game from last night, you would have missed an incredible performance from Colin Murray-Boyles. 17 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks on 8 of 10 shooting. Just that's the game we're looking for. He plays like a baby Scotty Barnes. We got two of them. So it is so much fun to see, and it is a legitimate difference maker on the court there when Scotty Barnes is fully going. He for sure is going to get a second All-Star appearance, and if he doesn't, another one of my favorite sports is rigged against the things I love. Again, thank God the Panthers made the playoffs. So Scotty Barnes, 37 out of 37 games played. This year, we pray that his face doesn't break like last year. That was horrible, but it's been a good year. The final numbers are actually really close to last year, where he's averaging 19.1, 8.6 rebounds, and 5.4 assists. But as the season goes on, I expect those assist numbers to climb. Of course, I am wearing the Scotty Barnes today. Of course, got the number 4 in support of our boy. So, Scotty Barnes, incredible season. Crazy enough, only 2 years, only 2 years younger or older than I am. And I'm here doing this, and he is about to be all NBA player and a defensive player of the year. So, just puts things into perspective sometimes. Just an incredible season for Scotty Barnes and an incredible season for the Raptors so far. Now, what can we expect going forward? Trades? I don't know. Legitimately, no clue what to expect from trades, especially with, GM Bobby at the helm. The Scotty Barnes trade, the Brandon Ingram trade, incredible. The Bruce Brown trade, not so good. Who knows what's going to happen? And does the front office truly realize that we are on the cusp of being contenders? I mean, when you look around the league, you see teams like OKC, you see teams like Denver, Houston even, and then, of course, the Spurs, the Lakers, the Pistons. No, not the Pistons yet. I think the true contenders in my eyes right now are really just the Thunder and the Nuggets. I don't really trust a team like the Celtics right now without Jason Tatum. The Knicks. I will add the Knicks to that list. I just think they're one tier above us. But moving forward with trades and health, I don't know. Again, it's Jakob Poeltl's the only guy that's injured. Can we reach that tier? With trades, yes, but standing by this roster, I don't think is fully the correct decision. I'm not saying we got to make a superstar splash, but that would be nice. If we're being honest with each other, that would be quite nice if we could make a superstar splash. I like one of the 2 point guards on this team. I, love what a guy like Jamal Shed brings to the table. He's not quite ready to start, but by golly, when he has started this year, I've quite liked him. And when he does come off the bench, it's always been productive minutes. He did have a little bit of a shooting schneid earlier this year, which was unfortunate. But since then, he has been way more consistent. That floater especially has been deadly, especially coming off that right side and putting it up. He's been beating big men off the dribble with that, and then throwing it up. Need to see more of that, but it makes Emmanuel Quickley tiny bit expendable. And if we can move a guy like Emmanuel Quickley, again, if we can move a guy like Jacoby Walter, a first, 2 firsts, who's to say what we bring in? Maybe it's Trae Young. Maybe it's a big man. When the market shakes out, we'll have to see. I've heard a lot of people talking about Domantas Sabonis. Wow, would I love Domantas Sabonis. That would be horrible defensively down low, but we have Scotty Barnes to supplement that. So we're good. The offense would be unstoppable. That would be so nasty with him down low or on the high post, operating, ball in his hands, a regular guy to go to, similar to how the Denver Nuggets operate. And then when you need to, kick to BI, and he could solo operate, as he could be a better version of what Michael Porter Jr. was for the Denver Nuggets team that won the championship. I really see that in this team. Now, of course, we'll be honest with each other. Sabonis is no Jokic. He's not going to nearly be able to do half the things that, Jokic did that led to the championship. But I think the Kings are a bad enough team at trading to be able to make a big enough mistake and give him to us for just cheap enough where we can continue to be good. So that's my number one hope, Domantas Sabonis. Other than that, I'm not really sure what other big men are going to be on the trade block like that. A guy like Walker Kessler is hurt. A guy like Klingon he's not going anywhere from Portland, but they're bad. Looking around the standings, the Pelicans don't really have a guy. Like, they have Derek Queen. I love Derek Queen, but he's not a center like I want. The Mavericks, of course, Anthony Davis. I still don't know if he's the answer. The Clippers, Zubac, but they don't have their own first. Why trade Zubac? There's so many question marks, but there's so many guys I would like. Of course, we talked about this on the last edition of Raptors Talk, Raptors Reactions, whatever I feel like calling it, on that day. If you go onto CTN by clicking the channel below, you can see who I thought earlier this season the main trade candidates for this Raptors team should be. I'm probably going to revisit that myself just to see who I was saying then. It's probably going to be the same names I'm saying now. It really seems like we're in a very similar spot now to when we had that 9-game winning streak and things felt, like sunshine and roses. So who's to see if this is just another flash in the pan, if this is what this team truly is, and maybe that dark stretch was just that, a dark stretch. It's an up-down season, but I've been loving it the whole way. So my Raptor fans out there, make sure you continue to tune in to the channel, as that's going to wrap up all I really have to say about the season so far. The other thing is, I guess I would love a dedicated true 3-point shooter. I almost said like Danny Green, but I was always disappointed by Danny Green when he was playing for us. So who knows who they'd bring in, but part of a trade. Jameson Battle was that when he was playing for us earlier, but I don't really know where he's gone. 25 games played, 7.9 minutes per game. Blink and you'll miss him. Other than that, Sandro Mamu, he's been the shooter, but, he's more of a big man. He shoots 37% from three. If we, our best shooter is, by 3-point percentage, Colin Murray-Boyles, who makes 1.3 threes per game on 3.4 attempts, and then Sandro Mamu, who makes Colin Murray-Boyles makes 0.5 threes on 1.3 attempts, and that's our leader. Excuse me. That's 39.5%. Sandro being below him at 37.7%. Jacoby Walter below him, and then Emmanuel Quickly. This team lacks 3-point shooting. So if you're listening to this, we need interior big man. We need 3-point shooter. Get on it, GM Bobby. And that's been it for me. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in who has. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Click that bell icon so you don't miss another upload, another live stream. And until the next time, peace.